Good morning and welcome to Three Chickadees Farm. We're going to do a video tour of our homestead this morning at the request of some fellow homesteaders and homestead hopefuls who really would like to have a homestead and feel like their property is just too small. Well, I want to show you that it's probably not. And what I'm doing on my less than a third of an acre with my house smack dab in the middle, our lot is a little over 11,000 square feet, and my house is 1,500 square feet, and I have an outbuilding that's 200 square feet, and then a patio and a garage that's taking up land, and a septic area. This area where that chair is that goes out to my greenhouse is my septic system. We're on city water, but we have a septic. And those are all areas that I'm not comfortable growing food or flowers or really anything else on. But I do a lot, so I wanted to share it with you. This is my canning kitchen. I don't like canning in the house. It makes a mess. It's where I bring my harvest and sort through it, dry it. It's lovely and out of the shade, or out of the sun, not the shade, but it has a nice breeze and it really helps with the drying process and preserving process of some of our root crops. It's easy to spray off. It doesn't matter if it gets wet, so there's no dirt in my kitchen. It's really quite wonderful. When we move out beyond that, we have where that bamboo and the rake is a grape that we just planted this year. It is called Glenora, and it's kind of like a Concord grape, but not quite. It has more of the table grape flavor. We've got 30 feet of Roma tomatoes here, and I've been harvesting about 10 to 15 pounds a day off of them. And they're starting to look a little sad, but I'm hoping they'll keep going for another couple of weeks as long as the rain holds off. But our heat is starting to dissipate, so we'll see how that goes. Over here in this area, we've got some dahlias growing, some magnificent sunflowers. That one hasn't even opened yet. I'm really excited to see what variety that one is. We just kind of expanded the edge of this bed a little bit to bring it out, give it a little bit more space. But in here on this trellis, we have an evergreen clematis. There's a goji draping over back there. I'm not sure that we'll keep that, but there is. This is a Violette de Bordeaux fig. I think that's how you say it. It's this lovely dark purple fig with a strawberry center. It's supposed to be really sweet. We just planted it this year, and I'm hoping to get figs off of it, but it's a late variety, and I'm just not sure it'll happen. But you can see there's some babies on there. If you can see that. There you go. So we have high hopes for that one, and we planted it in a south-facing spot with reflection from the shed walls, so we're hoping. Here are some scallions, and these raspberries we just planted this year. They're ever-bearing varieties, which means they bear in July on last year's canes or this fall's canes. Next year they'll bear in July, and then on their new canes that they send up in the summer, like every other raspberry, they will bear on those as well in the fall. So you get 2 crops out of them, which is really fantastic. I love workhorse varieties. The berries are a little more tart than like a Tulamine or a Meeker, a smaller size, but they're still delicious. Here we have a red clap pear. We planted this like 4 years ago. It's never been happy wherever we've planted it. It didn't grow like at all, and this year it's had a lot of growth. We moved it here. It does have a little bit of rust on it, but we moved it here and it's happy and has grown twice its size this year. So here's hoping that it loves it here. And we have these beautiful sunflowers. With these, we dry them out and we feed them to the rabbits or ducks or chickens. We don't have ducks, chickens anymore because we have some changing plans coming up, and we'll see what happens there. But we're taking a break from poultry. More sunflowers, and The bees are just busy in them this morning, collecting pollen. Let's see if you can catch this guy. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. This little guy is just loaded. Well, I guess it's a gal. This little gal is just loaded with pollen and collecting what she can. It's kind of awesome. Alright, so focus. Sorry guys, I don't regularly do videos, so this is all kind of new to me. So back here we have a cherry tree. It's a Vandalay cherry. It's a dark, like red-black colored cherry, very sweet. Over there by the greenhouse is a Lodi apple. Both these trees were planted 2 years ago. We have a red currant that was just planted this spring. In here is a service berry. It's a nitrogen fixer, and we can't wait to chop and drop. Back in here we've got some butterfly bushes. I didn't know what they were. I got some cool pots for free off Craigslist, and they came with plants in them. And they happen to be butterfly bushes, so we'll see what happens. It'll create a nice shade screen with the neighbor in the summer, give us a little bit of privacy. More sunflowers back in here. This used to be a duck area, but we don't have them anymore. Drew some artichokes stuck in among the sunflowers. The bunnies love to eat the leaves and the flowers. And then if you go back behind here in this shady area, it's pretty wet. And so we have some nettle that I harvested and planted back there. And I'm pretty excited to have it in my backyard. It's a great medicinal, great for teas, great in the spring when they're first coming up. This is our bunny area. This is Mr. Fluffy Butt. This is Marie. And back over there is Tonks. We come through about once a week and harvest the manure out of under their cages and just go and put it on the plants and in the garden beds that we think need a little bit of a boost. They're wonderful little creatures, and Marie is a fiber bunny, and she's molting right now, and I brush her, and she still just kind of throws fur everywhere. Alright, continue this way. We have these lovely Douglas firs here. We had a total of 11 taken down so far off the property. Really, this area was very, very shady, and we didn't get hardly any sun at all, and we've slowly been working to add more sun into our lives, and this is all that we have left, and I hope to take these down in the future too, but they're really close to the neighbor's house, and so we're working on saving to be able to do that. But while they're here, we're planting things like elderberry and hoping they do well. This is kind of an experiment. There's comfrey under here. We put all of our weed trimmings and stuff back in here, hoping that, they'll compost down and help create a richer soil in here. So this one is a black lace elderberry. Have another red currant in here. This one was attacked by caterpillars, and we just keep it watered, and we're hoping it'll come back. We're going to plant in this hole a plum tree. So there'll be a total of 5 fruit trees back here. This is another variety of elderberry. It's a blue elderberry, and it has a nice set of flowers on it. This one gets a little more sunshine than that one does. It's a little hotter in this corner. Back here we have some Jerusalem artichokes again. This is not a good spot for them. They don't mind it being a little wet. This is too hot and too dry. However, our fig is just in love. This fig has been here for 2 years. I believe it's an Olympian fig. I would have to check my notes though. This year we got 12 figs off of it, and there's one more that looks like it's almost ready to pick, and they're delicious. And we've got some shoots that we'll pull up and propagate. There's some sage back in here. We had a blueberry in here. Unfortunately, I didn't get it enough water, and the spot is just really dry and hot, and it didn't survive. Alright, so this way, coming out on this side, is the kids' play area. We were given a swing set, but the lumber was kind of rotted and falling apart, so we just kind of built something with the leftovers that we had. And it works, and it makes them happy. Here we have some asparagus planted in here. The hope is that it'll eventually grow tall enough, come up and shade the greenhouse a little bit, so that in the summer it offers a little bit of relief. Oh, there's another one coming up among the eggplant. We've got 4 eggplants in here. I've been harvesting eggplant this week, and I don't know if you can see. Oh, there it is. We harvest them when they're a little bit bigger than that. This one has just a little bit, couple of babies on it back in there. And this one's kind of sad looking. We're hoping it does something, but it might not, and that's okay. We have in the greenhouse, in front of the greenhouse right here, there are some lilies and irises and crocosmias. Not the crocosmias, the irises. And we just cut them all down, which is why it looks bare and yucky. I need to mulch it. This had a lily in it, and I didn't water it. So now it has borage growing out of it. There's an iris over there that you can see that's dry and dead. I need to get everything on automatic watering. In here, the greenhouse is kind of bare right now. We've got tomatoes that have fallen over and need to be staked back up today. All right, well, that'll go on the list. There's a Virginia sweet and a brandywine in here, and a cherry type tomato back in the corner. Here's some cantaloupes that we seeded in here. It took them a long time to get going because our spring was kind of cool and wet compared to last year. Next year I will definitely start them in pots and get them going faster. This is my greenhouse that I start all of my starts in, and I usually have tables in here that all the trays go on and whatnot. So this is my catch-all this year. Yes, I could have planted more in here, but I didn't. There's always next year. An eggplant. The eggplant actually did not like it in the greenhouse. I was surprised. So we won't do that next year. I just pulled a bunch of like little cayenne peppers out of here. After harvesting a lot, we just decided that we could use the space for other things. So we're resting for this week, and then we'll plant lettuce. These are some Jimmy Nardello peppers. They're a roasting pepper, and I'm pretty excited about them. So coming out this way, there's the back porch. We will go, right here, wormwood in a pot and cantalilly flowers, because everybody needs a little bit of flowers in their life. Right over here we have a gooseberry. This was full of borage flowers, and we took them all out because they were going everywhere, and we went and laid them other places so that their seeds could drop and we could have them more in a wild area. My daughter planted them. She likes to plant flowers. We have a gooseberry propagating in here. This bed with the chicken thing in it will be strawberries. This bed has blueberries in it. They're doing okay. They've been here for 3 years, and they're just kind of sad, and I don't know if the location is bad or I don't know what, but they're not the happiest here, so we've got to figure out something else and plant something else, I guess. The chicken coop is being deconstructed. We've decided not to have poultry for a bit, so that's going away. This bed will also have strawberries, and this bed will have strawberries. This is another type of gooseberry. It's green and a little bit more tart than the other gooseberry that we have, and I prefer. These are our pomegranates. We're waiting until fall to plant them. These two are called Wonderful. I'm going to plant one in a pot that can be moved in and out of shelter in the fall, and I'm going to plant one outside in a warmer, protected area. And the Mardi Gras, we're still trying to decide what to do with. Some people in this area have said that they have success with pomegranates and that they get fruit, and other people have said that they have had hard luck. So we're going to try it and see what happens. This jungle right here is a yellow raspberry area, and we're not sure they're going to stay there. We're thinking about moving them. Back here behind the clothesline is flowers. Nothing too exciting. We've got some peonies in here, mints, bellflowers, echinacea, the coneflower over there. What else is in here? I don't know, random bits and bobs that I get. Lamb's ear. There's some snapdragons that just reseeded themselves. In this area we've got chocolate mint. In that pot right there, there's skullcap, and I keep it in a pot because it takes over. There's dill, feverfew, more dahlias, nasturtiums, just because I think they're beautiful and they take over and add greenery. More types of snapdragons. Those ones back there are a true snapdragon. They're not flowering very well right now. Dill. That bright green plant is feverfew. Pretty excited about that one. Back in here is some chamomile, dahlias, holy basil, mullein. I love this mullein plant. A fuchsia. Struggling to get that thing to grow very well. Something that I saved over from my grandpa's plants and just didn't do very well. More dahlias, some chives down in here. I think those need to move. They're not quite happy where they're at. And then moss flowers, because they create a beautiful border and help keep stuff in. And we have hen and chicks in here. There's hen and chicks in there, and thyme and lilies. Irises. Those are irises. A currant tomato and a nasturtium. In this area we've got more herbs. There's some rosemary back in here, holy basil, marjoram, sorrel, and winter savory, some thyme. I really like thyme. Alright, now back here in front of my shed, things are kind of moving around back here. In this area, we've got some dahlias. This is the goji. Oh my gosh, this thing is going everywhere. No, I've not gotten fruit off of it yet. It's kind of a crazy plant. My shed, we're not going to go in there. This area is kind of a mess. I have some wormwood in that pot over there. Valerian next to our composter. That trash can is a composter. We fill it within like 3 or 4 weeks and then just let it set. I just planted an apple tree back in here, and we're going to espalier it along this fence. More dahlias. There's some mints and other flowers back in here. I guess the next video will show you the annual garden. These are kind of long videos. I apologize for that. We'll try and see if we can get something faster and more of a quick overview in the future. Hope you enjoyed this video. Visit us at 3chickadeesfarm.com and for more updates, and we look forward to hearing your feedback.